Hi everybody, this is Age of Agility. My name is Nick LaFleur. This week we're going back in time to share a conversation with our first ever guest, Lauren Olbrych. In April of 2020, Lauren highlighted how our customers were navigating the complexities of COVID-19. Since then, Quickbase has helped dozens of organizations gain free access to our platform, helping them to create applications to manage and track COVID-related response from contact tracing and protective equipment management to Paycheck Protection Program loan applications. Now, almost a year later, many state and local governments and other organizations are focusing on a new logistical puzzle, tracking vaccine rollout and distribution. With constantly changing guidelines, new vaccine approvals, and supply chain concerns playing out in real time, never before has such a complex, large-scale vaccination effort been coordinated. Stay tuned to hear more stories about agility and the vaccination deployment. Until then, we wanted to look back where we started. Enjoy our conversation with Lauren Olbrych.
Today, I'm talking with Lauren Olbrych, who leads our strategic marketing team here at Quickbase, about a new initiative we recently announced in response to COVID-19 and affecting every single one of us. Lauren, it's so good to see you today. And I just wanted to start with a few questions about our new initiative. So in this time of unprecedented disruption and uncertainty, can you please tell us how this new initiative began and what was the intention behind it?
Absolutely. Thanks, Shannon. I'm excited to be here and share some background on this initiative with you. So this program really came as a reflection of Quickbase's culture. It was a convergence of ideas from employees across functions, raising their hand, being vocal about all the ways they thought Quickbase could help. And with that, there was this realization that there's so many organizations on the front line of the COVID-19 crisis, many of which are nonprofits, state and local governments, healthcare organizations that are having to adapt and build new processes, new procedures that they've never had to before, track new data that they've never had to track before, and in an unprecedented time frame. And that moment of realization was like, wait, that's Quickbase. Like Quickbase's bread and butter is helping organizations simplify and build processes that can be automated, track real time. So with that, we said, how can we help get Quickbase's platform in the hands of these organizations that are on the front line of the COVID-19 crisis and really help them in their moment of need?
Awesome. And so why is Quickbase, I think you kind of already touched on this, but why is Quickbase as a platform specifically useful in a time like we're seeing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Quickbase, our low-code application development platform can help businesses during times of disruption by helping them keep pace, kind of keep process with business as usual, because they're able to digitize any unique process, things or maybe applications or procedures that may have taken months to build out, a lot of intensive work of IT and coding. And any individual within a business can build their own process with that low code software. So it makes it really accessible, really easy to do. And most importantly, it makes it fast to build that process.
And what have been the earliest indications that this initiative is really making a difference? So I know there's been lots of late nights and crazy times in our now office. So what is sort of keep getting you to your virtual desk every day? What are we seeing as successes?
Yeah, I would say two things I would want to call out here. One is this initiative has been available for a little over a week, and we've already had 30 signups. Within each signup, there can actually be a handful of organizations that are tied to each signup. So I think seeing that volume, seeing that we already, of those 30, already have about 5 organizations that are actively using the platform and adopting it. So seeing that traction early on, I think is really exciting. But the second piece of it, and it really is the counterpart to the software offer that we're providing for free to these organizations at the front line, is the fact that we're also extending the expertise of our employees to these companies. So we've had over 70 employees raise their hand and say, providing our software isn't enough to these organizations. I, as a Quickbase employee, want to help onboard one of these frontline organizations and guide them through the process of learning Quickbase, understanding what processes are best fit for our software so that they can get the benefit as quickly as possible. So through that process, just seeing the energy that our employees are eager to share with those organizations that need help the most. That to me has also been an incredible sign of success, not just of the offer, but really of the culture that's been built here at Quickbase and how we want to extend that to other people in need.
Awesome. I was going to ask you a question about the people behind the scenes, but you scooped it for me. So no, that's awesome. And I think that there's, I can say I've been seeing it too, just from how cross-functional this team has truly been, has been really inspiring, seeing as none of us are in the same place right now. So to sort of transition to how you're doing. So this has not just disrupted the lives of our customers, it's also disrupted the lives of all of us. And how has been working remote been going for you? So how has this changed your day to day?
Yes, well, it's changed, I'd say, immensely, especially I know, Shannon, we shared this similar trait that we are constantly talking to people, kind of thrive off the energy of others and being able to have active brainstorms, run into a room and whiteboard. I mean, adjusting to more digital ways to come up with that creative brainstorm time, I think is challenging, but it's learning. This is a great example of a way that we're able to show that creativity, really be kind of our most human selves when everyone is in their individual rooms and separated. And the second thing I would say, and actually goes back to the broader team that really helped bring the initiative to life, we have this amazing backbone of employees that are helping onboard those organizations for that are on the front line of COVID-19. But what I think has been really amazing in this new work from home environment, our new normal, is that the team that came together to really create that offer, both our product offering of a couple months of Quickbase software in partnership with the expertise of our very own employees to help onboard organizations in need. But the team that helped create that was a mix of HR, marketing, customer success, product, sales. I mean, seeing that everyone had the same initiative and priority, that wasn't, an individual function need, it wasn't an individual department need. It was absolutely, what can we do to help these organizations as quickly as possible? And I think just seeing that, the definition of a cross-functional team come together, meeting once, in some cases twice, 3 times a day, in 4 days back to back, and bring something to life in less than a week, I think was an awesome example. And when you talk about what gets you up in the morning amidst this new normal, something that I absolutely inspiring to be working along colleagues that have that sort of passion and energy towards really doing something that feels right to help others.
Awesome. And has there been, for you personally, just separated from work, how are you doing? So has this been really disruptive to your life? I know that you had to leave where you were living, all of these things. I know it's been sort of a very big and disruptive time for a lot of us. I think we want to dig in a little bit more on how our people are doing and sort of the different setups they're dealing with at home. Yeah,
it is different. Going from the center of Boston, which is where my husband and I were living, as teeny tiny apartment, 250 square feet. We actually left right early on in the crisis to come to Florida. So have been working alongside my new coworkers, which are my 2 retired parents and my husband. So it's a bit of a different working environment when you have your colleagues as family members, but it's an adjustment. I think when I look at the pros and cons, the pros are I'm actually finding that I'm tapping my parents for insight. My dad's been a number of years in manufacturing, and being able, he's overhearing the conversations that I'm having or seeing the work that I'm doing. And he's been able to add some really interesting insight into the process. So, I would never think to be able to go down that path. I think that's been a really awesome benefit. And then I think the downside or challenge that comes about is really finding opportunities where you're staying connected to people. When you set up a meeting or you have a Slack conversation, it's normally because you need something or you're trying to move a project along. But having more organic, natural conversations of just like, hey, how was your weekend? Or, hey, what did you think of that latest episode of, I'm trying to think, what is that new episode that everyone's watching, Tiger King?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important update. Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, those types of conversations, I think you have to be more intentional in starting them. And so when you get caught up with your day-to-day, it's a little bit harder.
Totally. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for talking to us today and letting us know sort of all the stuff going on with the initiative that we've launched recently and just everything that has been changing in your new normal. And we're really looking forward to seeing this audience every week from my home office. And we can't wait to see you next week. Thank you. Bye.